Hi everyone, my name is Odunayo Aliu and I'm the founder and director of Bramble Network. Bramble is a non-profit organization that creates alternative learning spaces for children living in rural and marginalized communities. 2016 was the year when I adopted the first child to support. And by 2017, we already had 36 children in our full-time sponsorship program. And we also provide educational support, including books and textbooks for 300 children. But the challenge was that we had all of this number of children going to school, but were they really learning? So 2017, we began to look for what can be done differently. For example, we had one of our kids, Adiola, that was already in grade 3 or 4, but could not write his own name. So school fees were being paid, but the child was not really learning. At that point, we needed to review what we were doing. Because what is going to become the fate, the future of these other ones that were going to school, but we could not see the tangible outcome of their time in school. And this is a plague in our education system, where the schools are designed to make children regurgitate what they have learned in the classroom, and the whole attention is on making sure that children pass examination. We believe that education has moved much more beyond that. By 2017, we begin to research. Doing this research, I met a lot of kids that are doing exceptional things. And this is because they had an enabling environment. One of them was a boy named Ibrahim. Ibrahim was around 9 years old. He had a younger brother who was about 7 years old. And both of them were they were working on something that was a solution to people's pain. Ibrahim was creating a robot, a mosquito robot that could deposit vaccine or injection in your body and take a little blood for testing. And he was doing this for autistic children who does not like to take injection. So the way mosquito perch on your body and you may not likely quickly notice, that's the same way the robotic mosquito will work. Why the younger brother he said he was considering making a vaccine that can help people with asthma. Both of them were working, they had these projects ongoing. For me, I began to think that how can we democratize access to quality education for children in communities that they don't readily have access to it. Of course, Ibrahim and Yah are lucky because they had rich parents. But what about the millions of other children that don't have rich parents? So by the end of this research, I knew exactly what to do. I'd spoken to hundreds of people that are creating some level of change in the influencing education in their immediate community all across different countries in Asia. So I came back home to create Bramble Network and help the children that we were already supporting before this time, to help them to create an enabling environment where they can where children can explore their various potential. So in Bramble Network, we believe that every child is creative. Every human was born with a level of creativity. And it is when we grow up, by the virtue of the kind of school we go, the kind of parents we grew up with, the kind of environments where we grow, some people begin to lose their creativity as they grow. We are working to see an education system where children are allowed to blossom, where we have enabling environment with a lot of resources, and children can grow up to become the best version of themselves. And that's what we're doing through Bramble Network. We go to rural communities, deep villages where children don't even have access to good schools, or any sometimes no school at all. And we set up alternative learning centers. I'm speaking to you today from one of the centers, and I wish I can take you around to see what we've been able to do in the last few years. So children come here to learn, children from different families in the various ethnic group in these villages. This center in Arikonki village, it's at the outskirts of Oyo. We serve children from over 7 communities. We have different nationalities here. We have Togolese, we have, children from Benin Republic, we have them here. And what we have seen so far is that education can be fun. Children can truly fall in love with learning if the school system, if the education system is designed in such a way that the children is in the heart of the curriculum. So because the children should form the curriculum, what we have seen so far is that children can be truly motivated to learn. They can fall in love with learning. Schools, education does not have to be boring. You don't need to force them to learn. If education is designed in such a way that it's hands-on, practical, and you make them see the connection between what they're learning and real life experiences, they are going to love it. Our world today has really changed. And every generation should tailor its own education system to solve the problem in that generation. Our world today has changed. And every generation should tailor the education system of the generation to solve the problem in that generation. World Economic Forum listed some skills that are needed for the 21st century. Skills like communication, critical thinking, creativity, and so on. How are we incorporating those skills into our classroom? How are we helping our learners to take on these skills from a very young age? According to several statistics, over 75 million jobs will disappear in the next 10 years, and millions of other jobs will be created. So you see, these skills listed by the World Economic Forum, they are very important to prepare our young people for that future. If not more important than academics, the subject knowledge that the children are learning. As educators, I encourage you to do 2 things in order to prepare your learners for this future. And the first thing is to create a new learning culture. In your classroom, make sure there's a sense of ownership, a sense of choice for the learners that we work with. Learners need to take ownership of their own learning journey. Gone are the days where in the classroom the teachers are the almighty, you know, the alpha and the omega. Children can't ask questions. Allow the learners, the students, to take ownership of their own learning journey. We need to give them a sense of choice. You know, we need to let them know that their voice truly matters. And the second thing is to leverage on technology. Technology is a game changer. When it comes to knowledge, many of the resources, materials that we need are available out there. We can as well connect our learners with learners from different communities. Sadly, just about 10% of schools are connected to the internet across low-income countries. But I'm very happy that STEE schools is not one of those schools that are not connected to the internet. So one of the things that we can also do is to expose our learners to realities in different contexts, different communities. And I'm very, I'm very happy to connect children from these communities where we work with children in your classrooms, so that they can see different perspective of life, outside their own community, their own privileges and all of that, because these also help them to grow up to be emotionally aware. So to wrap this up, I would like to say thank you and well done. We can't stop working now until we see the change that we truly desire to see in the education system. It's our collective effort, making sure that every child that comes across us as educators, that their life is truly impacted, that they learn what is essential for their life, and they become the best version of themselves. So thank you and well done. I'm available to connect with you all via email, LinkedIn, or other social media platform. And I look forward to when I'll be able to visit and meet you all one-on-one. Thank you.